Hi guys, welcome back to another video on Upgrade with Aasif. Well, in today's video, we're going to be speaking about interview behavior. How important is interview behavior? Well, as per my experience of training candidates on interviews for the last 16 years, it's a game changer. Irrespective of the hard skills that you are aware of as per the requirement of the jobs, or whether if you perfectly suit the JD of the organization, that is the job description of the organization, interview behavior plays a very important role. In fact, it's a game changer. It actually makes the interviewer decide whether if you are hireable or you're not hireable, whether if you will suit the culture of the organization or you will not suit the culture of the organization. So I've made some points for you on interview behavior. Some things that you need to keep in mind when you are appearing for an interview. These are very simple points, my friends, and trust me, there is nothing more to this. If you just keep these points in mind, I'm sure you will be able to grab the attention as well as the confidence of the interviewer to getting shortlisted for a particular organization. So let's quickly start with these points. I've made some points for you. I will be getting to my screen. So let's quickly get to my screen and start with the pointers. Okay, so let's begin with the first point. The first point is sounding confident. Now you need to understand that there is a very thick line in between sounding confident and sounding overconfident. You have to sound confident in the most humble manner possible. If you're sounding confident in which you probably sound as you are very abrupt or you are very rude in terms of the way you're conveying yourself, deliberately or non-deliberately, irrespective, you need to gauge yourself on that before you go and meet and speak to people. And if you think you're sounding wrong, you need to work on yourself. Now, that is irrespective of the interview. In the real world also, when you go out, you're involved in an employment or you're involved in a business, you need to understand that sounding humble, my friends, is the key. So the first point over here is sounding confident, not overconfident. The second point, stammer and fumble. Now you must have observed a lot of times that otherwise when you speak to your family or friends, you do not stammer or fumble. But when you go for an interview, you end up stammering and fumbling, which leads to lack of confidence and you getting rejected for an interview. Why does this happen? You need to understand that there is this waiting time you have before you appear for any interview. You are either sitting at a reception or probably even if you're giving an online interview, you are waiting for the main concerned person to probably come online and speak to you. Now, the waiting time or the time before you are appearing for that interview is very crucial. What activities are you involved in before this particular interview? So if you are in a waiting period and if you are watching a movie on your mobile or if you are playing games, obviously you are taking your mindset to a different direction altogether. It is going to brainwash you with all the preparations you've done for the interview. Let that be technical, let that be related to your knowledge also. You're simply brainwashing yourself. I've observed a lot of times people have come to my office and during the waiting period, they end up listening to music or they end up playing games. Now what happens is because they are in that mindset, the moment they sit for an interview, they are out of place because their mind is not focused at that point of time and the interviewers are completely focused. I mean, they are there to get the information out of you, to judge you, to reassure they are hiring the right candidates. So the interviewers are very focused and you're not able to match that bandwidth with the person who's conducting your interview. That's what leads to nervousness. That's what leads to fumbling and stammering. What's the solution? What you need to do is probably speak to a friend about the interview, speak to people who know that you are appearing for the interview, try to brush up your skills, try to sharpen your axes, try to speak about the interview, about the industry. You have nobody to speak to, watch some motivational videos. You can watch this video probably when you are probably appearing for an interview. You can just review this entire video. It's going to act as a briefing session for you before you give any interview. Or probably you can go through the company information like the mission, the vision of the particular organization. Company research is something that needs to be done before you apply for the interview. But if you think you've missed out on that due to lack of time or immediate notice for the particular interview, go through the company, see which year the company was established in, see the mission and the vision of the company. Imagine you sitting for an interview and conveying this to the interviewer that your company was founded in the year XYZ. This is the mission and the vision and I am completely game for the same because I am in love with the mission and the vision of the organization. Imagine saying something as small as this. Might be you're not good with your skills for an interview, but because of your positive attitude, it might you might end up getting selected. So please understand this crucial time of before giving the interview is very important. It is something that you put your mindset. Your mindset has to be perfect. If your mindset is in place, trust me, you will be able to avoid the stammering and the fumbling, which is a very common issue for candidates when they are giving interviews. The third point over here is going blank with basic questions. Now, whenever you prepare for an interview, do not look into the mirror and start practicing like exactly how you're going to speak to the interviewer. Or sometimes people do that, they sit in mock interviews and try and practice, this is how I will answer, this is what the interviewer will ask me, and this is how I will answer. I'll give you a very simple example. As per the normal interviews, you are very used to interviewers asking you this question, can you introduce yourself? Okay. Now, something as simple as, can you please run me through your profile? I have your CV right here in front of me. Can you just run me through your profile? Might be the way the interview has asked you this question makes you nervous about the entire point and lose confidence and lose grip on the entire conversation. So please, when you prepare for an interview, do prepare on the basis of your knowledge, brush up your knowledge, brush up on what needs to be said, but do not try to mock the interview exactly in a mirror or with a friend or with any third party, because that might lead to you falling on your face because what you expected is not been asked and something out of the box has been asked to you. That will not happen in the case if you are really prepared and brushed up with your knowledge. Just be prepared for any interview, any question hitting you. If you have the knowledge, you will be able to answer that. So please do not try to mug up or probably replicate the interview in some way or the other. The fourth point, now sometimes what happens is a lot of interviewers keep a poker face. They don't want to give you an expression. They just want to sit blank. They'll just be noticing you, looking into your eyes. It might be they do not even acknowledge what you're saying. They might not even give you these nods which will help you to go ahead with the conversations. It depends. Every interview is different. If you're a lucky person, might be you've got an interviewer who is probably, oh yes, tell me. Okay, that's really nice what you've said. Might be an interviewer kind of, tries to pushes you, tries to encourage you, tries to get you out of that nervousness. But all the time, you're not going to be lucky, my friends. Might be, there is an interviewer who just sits with the poker face. Avoid the expectation of getting an acknowledgement in terms of an expression. You go ahead with your information very confidently in a very humble manner. Go ahead and convey everything you can as per the interview. You're giving your 100%, irrespective you're getting that positive expression or you're not. Consistency. The interviewer might be, they started off very strictly, but with time, the interview went on for half an hour to 45 minutes. The interviewer tries to get friendly with you. That doesn't mean that you try to get over friendly with the interviewer. Remain consistent. The way you have started, you've got to end the similar way. If the interviewer gauges any kind of change in behavior because the interview has gone on for some time and then you've kind of, felt lethargic and, lost the hold of the interview that you should be maintaining in terms of behavior, is going to act as a negative point over there. Next point. Do not show excitement if you know the answer, or sometimes usually what people do is they try to cut the interviewer off because they are very excited that the interviewer is actually asking them what they already know about. And that's where, you might get rejected on listening skills, which is a very important parameter. You might not realize, but it's a very important parameter. And do not show the excitement if you know a particular answer to that question. Keep yourself very neutral, convey it confidently, but do not show that excitement on your face. Seventh point, if you're not aware of a skill or a question, be honest that you're not aware of it. Now, when you're not aware of a skill, go ahead and say that unfortunately, I have not been able to come across this particular situation or this particular skill in any of my previous employment, but I would be more than glad to learn this. And please be rest assured, I am a quick learner and I'm sure I'll be able to adapt to this as soon as possible. And I will not let you down when it comes to me upgrading myself with that particular skill. So giving answers related to you being a quick learner is going to go a long way, rather than you saying that this is not relevant or that is not relevant. If it was not relevant, it would not be a part of the job description, or it would not be a part of the questionnaire for the interviewer to ask you that question. Next is acknowledge the conversation. Okay, just because the interviewer is not giving you any kind of expressions, that doesn't mean that you also don't give any expressions. I've observed this. I've taken many interviews where when I speak to candidates, they are like this, they're just like blank. So do you know this? No, you cannot. You have to be very expressive. There are a lot of times where the interviewer also introduces himself. There are times where he introduces the organization also to you. That's the time you need to acknowledge his conversation by continuously nodding, not speaking, let him complete, but by continuously nodding to the conversation rather than just sitting and observing him like a statue. No, you got to acknowledge, you got to show that spontaneity. You need to show that yes, you are interacting to a human, not a robot. So please ensure that you acknowledge the conversation that you're going to be involved in. The ninth point is maintain a positive eye contact. So what I mean by this is, you don't have to look in the eye like you've gone for a fight. You just cannot look that way. Maintaining eye contact is also very important, but in a very nice, a very humble manner. Again, that's very important when you are answering. If I'm answering, or probably if I'm speaking to you and training you right now, and I'm like, okay, so what you have to do is you have to go there and you have to do this, and this is how you give an interview, and this is how you need to present yourself. Are you going to take me seriously? You're not, right? So I'm looking into the camera right now. It's not a human, it's a camera in front of me. Trust me, it's very difficult to speak to one eye because I've been used to speaking to two eyes for the last 16 years. It's very difficult, but I have to. Till the time you're not maintaining a positive eye contact, you are not going to get the grip on the conversation, or probably you will not be able to win the interviewer's confidence. So maintaining an eye contact, again, very humble and a very generous way, is very important. So let me get to the last point, which is leave the session with a big smile, warm greetings. However, irrespective, your interview has been good, your interview has been bad. The moment you're done with the interview, thank you so much, sir, ma'am. It was a great session. It was a learning curve. This will be a memorable interview. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to come here and showcase my skills and present my profile to you. There are so many beautiful, lovely, flattering things you can say before you leave the interview cabin. See, your first impression is your last impression for sure, but obviously your last impression also, like how you acknowledge everybody again before you leave the interview cabin, also plays a very important role. So please understand, my friends, when it comes to interview behavior, just follow these 10 points. Keep this video, save this video. Whenever you apply for any interview, you can go through all these pointers again. It has helped thousands of candidates who I've briefed for giving interviews. That can be multinational Fortune 500 companies. This has worked for private organizations, family businesses, corporates. This procedure has worked across all organizations, across all industries. So this is a very important parameter, my friends, interview behavior. I hope this video brings in a lot of value to you. I would request you to save this video and please go through this video before you apply for any interview. I have trained thousands of candidates. It's worked for them. I'm sure this is going to work for you as well. If you like this video, kindly hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. It will motivate me to make more videos in the future. Thank you so much, guys. This is Aasif Sheikh, your lifestyle coach, now signing off. Take care of yourselves. Bye.